All right, good morning. Today we'll be continuing our series where we are using LLMs to help us to build a website for children's typing games. The idea here was originally we were trying each of the recent releases in the LLMs. So we had Claude, which is what we ended up using. We had Gemini, we had ChatGPT, we were trying out DeepSeek. And basically what ended up happening was the Gemini and ChatGPT versions would end up getting very basic boilerplate changes. So I'll see here. And then sometimes just the way it put out the information was because it was too long. And so you can see here, like this was what was happening in Gemini, is it wouldn't even give me like an entire code snippet to go through here. And it ended up causing issues with just being able to lift and copy and paste it over to the website editor here. And so it became more and more difficult to do just when I was generating the original code files. And so I'd settled into using Claude here, but eventually the code started getting too long that I started asking it to give me specific snippets back for the changes to be made. And then basically it would tell me where to put them and we could make those changes. And so, for example, you can see here, this was some of the changes we were making to our site page here for the animal rescue. And so like this helped us to make the tree wider. We added it so the animals that you saved, the last couple appeared here. Instead of just kind of, it would come down to the tree, it would go here for, a fraction of a second and then disappear. So the kids couldn't see the animals that they were saving as part of the game. So that was the idea here for what was going on, and that's why we had settled in on Claude. Now, originally we were doing this in the evenings, US time, so that meant that you could use Claude 3.7 Sonnet here. But right now, in the past couple of mornings when I've come in, it's been saying that there's been, because I'm using the free version that most people would have available to them, you have to upgrade to Claude Pro to use it during this time. So it has been living the 3.5 model. So I'm curious to see if we're going to get the same performance, because 3.5 is more comparable to even like the older versions of Gemini and ChatGPT 4.0. So we may be trying each of them just to see how well it handles making some of the actual changes. And I'll be interested to see if Claude will actually generate the code changes for us. And then another thing with Gemini was, for the longest time, it was only giving us boilerplate in terms of the code. Like I had to give it here the file that Claude had made, and then it would actually start to suggest some of the very specific changes that it would. But so there were also times where it was like saying, hey, you need to go here and update your code, rather than like we'll give you a placeholder for, and you need to do the editing for the code itself. So let's do this. There is still a bug with a code that a letter appears twice in the active animals to rescue, and then when the child types the letter, one animal is rescued and the other gets left behind. The one that is left behind stays until the game ends, and that letter no longer, or that animal could never be saved. And never times out. This should not happen where two of the same letter is possible. And even if that did happen, the child should save both. Please provide these snippets to fix the code issues. And so we have it here for the most recent version, and then we'll go check the changes as they're happening. So let's do, it's still running. Say key press. Let's just check that. Oh, and the create animal. Let's create animal right after it. Let's double check that. No. So we need the different pieces. Okay, go to handle key press. Copy this in. Tab these over. So that's the key press. And then go here to create animal. Okay, it's not even that. It's the get currently used letters. It looks like it's supposed to have that, right? Yeah. So I don't know if it's actually going to or what bit this is actually going to change. But it would happen fairly frequently where we would get a situation where all of them would be there. So let's go back to our site code here. Let's preview it and let's see if we can have it happen. Okay, so U is bugged out. Okay, so we have two, right? There's U again. So what happened here that this had bugged out? Let's try this. So there, okay, the squirrel bugged out again. The tiger's out. The mouse is now not working. Okay. So for some reason, some of the animals are bugged out and will no longer disappear from the tree until the game ends. Can you help debug what could be causing this? We are no longer getting duplicate letters. So good job with that fix. So let's see what exactly we're getting happening here. So it says to go to remove animal. Okay, so what it gave me is, I feel similar, but let's just double check it. So that I think is fine. And then the rescue animal. That was ugly. Let's see, maybe I'm just causing an issue here. We'll then shift these in to where they should be. And then looks like there was more here. Check and create animals. Let's try and find that here. And then let's take it back to our game. We're gonna remove that. I'm gonna paste it in here. Let's give it a shot and see how we're doing. So go. Once that old edge case is fixed, oh good. That one I was starting to get worried was around too long. Let's see if the Q1 goes away. Looks like it did. Good. So this is starting. Now we're at a point where nothing's hanging around in the tree, even if it seems like they cleaned up the issue with the bugs. We'll see if that J1 goes away. There it goes. So it seems like we are now getting it to work fairly regularly, and then after the game ends, they eventually all go away, so you can see your score. So great, let's go publish those changes. So now that's there. Let's go back to the home screen here. Copy this. Make a new file. This is the home page. And so we want to clean this up because when we asked it, it made boxes for each of them, but there's no images. And I don't really have a way to store them. So let's make a new chat. Go to home page. This is the code for my current game directory on my site's homepage. I'm using GoDaddy's website builder, and there is likely a better way to implement this. I would like for each of the games to appear here automatically with an image of each game's start screen. Let's see how it handles it. Okay. So let's see. This is just not saved. Okay, so that's got 50 or 570 lines, so it should be right. I currently have 7 games, and we'll be making more. It would be best if they could automatically be added to this. The games are all currently under a directory called preschool students. In the future, may add additional directories. So let's look at the code and see if I can just lift it. Here. This is much shorter than before, so I'm a bit worried what it's doing, but I guess we'll see. No, this is worse. That's not particularly helpful. Just creating pages. That doesn't tell me anything either. All right, that's, I guess, disappointing. Let's do this. Go here. That doesn't actually function the way it should, right? So I come here, and I go here. The navigation links are not correct. Again, not looking to, well, hoping to not to say the start screen for each page. If it's necessary, then I will need for you to explain how to do this so that I can make it happen. Let's take this. So this was home run typers. This is animal rescue. This one was Space Explorer. What else do we have? Letter catcher. Jungle Adventure. Ocean Adventure. And then Treasure Hunter. All right, let's see how it handles this. Let's go to preview. Just let's publish this for the moment and see if this actually works. So it does not. Wait, what's happening? Come here. the games appear on pages that do not contain HTML in their URLs. And then I'll give it an example. For example, the animal rescue game URL is and here I changed the structure of the HTML again. So let's go here. Right. I'm going to take this and let's just see how it does. Also, it insists on animal rescue typing, which we know is not true. So based on what's here, this should be here. So I guess we have to change this. Instead of select 8, we should just say age group of your child. So I guess I have to define this better for it. Looking at what is provided so far, there are a few things that stand out to me. What were they calling before? Instead of select game category, say choose the age of your child. The game directories are just based on the children's age. Preschool students, elementary students, say middle school, and high school. Three. The current games are as follows. Home run typers, animal rescue, space explorer. Was it ocean explorer next? No, letter catcher. Letter catcher. Jungle explorer. Ocean explorer. And treasure hunter. All right, so we'll have to change this and start a new chat. Let's try this. Let's go to Gemini and see how this handles it. So I'm going to give it the file. Document. No. Where's this being saved to? It is being saved. Oh, yeah, Gemini can't handle HTML files. It has to be text files. Well, I guess we're back. You were helping me develop changes to my home page. This is the last code you had provided to me. Hold on. So did you automatically try and separate this? So that's not I did not tell you to move them to other directories. All games are currently for preschool. In the future, we will make other games. But do not make assumptions. Instead, ask. Now, if I take this, I see. So what's happening is GoDaddy is trying to do too much with the preview mode. Because when preview, we're still in this websites.godaddy. Now when I click it, it's going to go to children's tech and games. That one actually worked. Animal rescue worked. Space Explorer worked. So now let's look at the code and see what's going on. So we don't have actual images here of games, right? It's just how can we implement pictures for each of the games in the home screen. You will need to walk me through each of the steps. Remember, said using Daddy's website builder. you would have to explain where to go to access the directory and move files there. Over here, so if I go here, okay, and I hit the website, brings me to their website builder, but I see nothing that refers to media or files. All right, let's double check. Nothing here. Yeah, none of these actually refer to it. Okay. Just do this and say screenshots. These, sorry. This is what I see on the screen. So let's go to the individual pages. Let's see. This is a mess. This seems convoluted. Is there a and I just realized this here. So Claude is saying, hey, guess what? So we're going to run into limits here shortly and may have to shift to do this. So I'm not even sure if this is the question I want to ask. Because now we're hitting limits. Okay, and that's okay. That's not helpful at all. Yeah, I guess let's change slightly our approach. Take this. Go to Notepad. Yes. So we take this here. Let's just call this homepage. And we'll just shift to using Gemini, or at least try to. Go here. This is a section of my homepage on GoDaddy. I'm using their website builder to add this section, which is supposed to contain all of the games I have built. There is an issue with trying to display an image of each game. I cannot upload files to the site, or have not figured out how to do so. See, here's where it broke again when I was talking about rendering the code here. So it started, and then once it gets a few levels in, it just breaks it. And you can see here, this is supposed to be how you lay in the code snippet, and that's supposed to be to close it out, but it's just broke it. So we'll need to go to Imgur to put that there. I guess that'll work. I'll have to do that individually and then lay those in. See if I go here. Let's just start with the next one, and then I can handle that later. Oh, what's going on here? Oh yeah, this was the prompts we were using originally. Call this the Space Explorer. All right, let's give this another chance. This is one of my games called Space Explorer. This only allows child to type in 3 letters before the game ends. Let's add some variation. All right, let's do the following changes. 1, add some variation to the planet sizes. Add a way for for the spaceship to get more fuel. All right, so where did I go? So let's see. Yeah. Let's go change what I'm putting in here. Currently, the fuel is reduced by the distance between the planet and the ship, but only one planet appears, and so the game ends quickly. Add multiple planet spawns and fuel as well. And fuel spawns as well. So let's see if this. Let's see if it breaks along the way. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's take this to here. It's true. No, that's definitely an issue. Because it didn't generate everything. It stopped partway through. Stopped generation partway through. Please complete. So I need to take the pieces of this. We'll go here. Hopefully this works well. Probably won't. Select all. Let's hope this works. A. It doesn't work at all now. All right. Well, that's disappointing. While it looks nice, it doesn't functionally work. So I guess we'll stop there for today. Next time, I can hopefully have more messages with Claude. Otherwise, we'll have to look into using Gemini or ChatGPT to try and finish it with the changes to that homepage, as well as fixing up the games that are partially there but not really functional. So that's all for today. For those of you that are here, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.